None of you are going to believe me, but I have it in my opinion that Carmelo Anthony and Shiloh Hendrix GoFundMes have created such a cesspool to play on people's emotions to where they think if they see something and it tugs that little nugget in their brain or it strings on that blood vessel in the heart, there's going to be that layer of thought that will convince somebody, oh my God, I must give you money because it will help for the greater good. In some instances, that could make sense. And in others, it's just somebody who does something stupid, and for some reason, people buy into the stupid. That woman who was a nurse who has now had her license suspended. I believe she's being investigated by her place of business to see if she violated something, and there's the potential she ends up fired. Well, she, ever since then, has constantly got on social media and bloviated that these are the circumstances that have fallen upon her because she's somebody who thought it would be wise to live stream her working because lucrative business model will never be a lucrative business model. And you would think, after getting suspended, you would take time to reflect in the hopes that maybe through the grace of God, you could get your job back and learn that maybe next time you shouldn't be biting on medical products and live streaming it. Or you could make a GoFundMe because that makes the most damn sense. Support Yaz Scott, a nurse, fight for a second chance. I'm reaching out as a father who is concerned watching his daughter's life and career fall apart after a single mistake. One that she deeply regrets and is working tirelessly to make right. My daughter, Yaz Scott, is a licensed practical nurse, suspended licensed practical nurse, a single mother of 3, and one of the most determined people I know. She didn't just stumble into nursing, she earned it. For over a year, Yaz made a 180-mile round trip to nursing school every day through all kinds of weather while raising her children alone. She sacrificed sleep, meals, and moments with her kids to build a better life and to serve others in a profession she loves. But one mistake has threatened to undo all of that. Yaz is currently under investigation by the nursing board for a medication pass error and a potential HIPAA violation involving a TikTok video. Excuse me, good sir, TikTok live stream. Get it right. It was immature and thoughtless decision made without fully understanding the consequences. She never intended to harm anyone, but she now realizes that intent doesn't erase impact. She has taken full responsibility and is committed to learning and growing from this painful experience. Since then, the fallout has been devastating. She lost her job. She has been publicly humiliated online and in the media. She has been harassed, mocked, and even told to harm herself. Stop right there. We can all agree that we can criticize somebody for something stupid that they did. Nobody, and I mean nobody, should be telling somebody to go take their own life. We don't need it. All we can do in a civil society is recognize somebody doing something stupid and saying, hey, you did something dumb. Now you got to deal with the consequence of it. Anything beyond that, you dragging it and you make the conversation muddy. Glad we can have that conversation be addressed. Worst of all, nursing organizations across the country have used her image and video without her permission as a cautionary tale in training sessions, compounding her shame and making it harder for her to move forward. Again, let's stop right there. Buddy, while you have to deal with this with your daughter and your grandchildren, let's not act like medical training facilities won't use shit like this to say, hey, future nurses, future doctors, future practitioners, don't live stream any of this. Why? Because it's a direct violation to what we have spent years, maybe decades, putting in place so that people have their confidentialities kept secure. So no, I don't feel bad for your daughter in that respect. Yaz is not a malicious person. She is a young mother who made a mistake, took accountability, and now just needs a second chance. She is committed to becoming a better nurse and a human being. However, she cannot do this alone. We are asking for help to cover legal fees. This is the part where it gets funny. We're asking for help to cover legal fees, basic living expenses for her and her 3 children, rehabilitation, and training programs to help her re-enter the nursing field stronger and wiser. This is not about money. You lose me. You lost me. You lost me. You gave me this great story about how somebody fucked up their life and they're fighting tooth and nail to get back in. And we just need the support of people who care about somebody who has owned up to it and now is trying to be better, which is cool. I ain't got nothing against that. But you list off all the reasons why you need the money and then say this isn't just about money. That's the primary. I'm sorry, when you make a GoFundMe, yes, you could have good-hearted intentions. Yes, you could have everybody making sure that people see this and care about it. But let's be real here. The primary is to get some money, whether it be for legal fees, to move, to stay safe, to hopefully get into some rehabilitation programs, to make sure that you don't pick up your damn phone and say, wow, what? I'm live streaming me at this moment? You know, the rehabilitation? Stop broadcasting your life to the point where people find out where you work. That's what you do. You stop broadcasting what you do and live streaming it. That way, nobody finds out where you work. That way, you're not potentially violating HIPAA. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly understandable. Perfectly fucking wonderful for everybody to get on tap with. But let's keep reading. It's about believing in redemption. Don't need money to do that. In the power of growth. Don't need money to do that. And in truth, that one moment of poor judgment should not erase a lifetime of hard work and compassion. Again, for like the fourth time, don't need money to do that. If you ever made a mistake you wish you could take back, I hope you'll understand where Yaz is coming from. Any donation, share, or word of encouragement means the world to us. And the funny thing about all of this is that people have seen this GoFundMe. And of course, when we look at it and we see that $1,900 has been raised so far of a $15K goal, you could say that people have generosity in their heart. And then there are others who are like, not quite. And this is why I don't like how we've fallen so deep into these instances where people think, all right, this thing happened and it's dumb. Let's just throw a GoFundMe at it. Because more and more people are going to feel emboldened and entitled. They'll come up with a great story about how this happened and all I need is your compassion and your support. And then you find out what happened and then you realize it's completely their fucking fault. And then you say, at least for me, I'm not giving you money for your own fuck up. You can talk about how you've learned from this as a grown adult and how for some reason you went through the entire process of knowing what HIPAA was and you just suddenly forgot because it was so lucrative to be a live streamer because you're bored at work. Focus on your job, number one. And number two, you knew about HIPAA before you ever fully became a nurse, practitioner, whatever the job was. You knew that. And to try to convince me that, oh, it was just a mistake, like, that's a mistake you know about and people told you about because they don't want to see you fired. They just don't want you to be violating something to see you fail. And now look where you at. And now you're hoping that the grace of God and the internet will bestow you some type of lucrative cushion so that you could stay afloat with your kids. And maybe it works out for you. Maybe people see this and they don't fully know what's going on and they say, hey, I'll just give you some money. Maybe, but the more this gains traction and the more people find out the reason why, there's going to be people who will say, I'm not giving you money in any capacity.
You did this to yourself. When people were on your live telling you, girl, you better get off live. You need to get off here. You're doing the med pass. You need to get off here. You know, y'all know what she was telling them people? Y'all relax. Y'all doing too much. I'm not saying the patient's name. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. She done lost her job. Apparently, her nursing license is suspended. And everything else. Now she has to GoFundMe. If I find out y'all donating to that GoFundMe, it's going to be me and y'all. Because, no. Like, she literally did that to herself. Do y'all know how much they push HIPAA violations in nursing school? Any healthcare setting? Do you know how much they push HIPAA violation? Not violating HIPAA violations? Like, it ain't like she clueless and she didn't know. She knew and she was worried about going viral for being a nurse, then worrying about protecting her license. It's so hard to get the license and it's easy to lose it. Simple.
And I would just like to end it on one note. If you fuck up And because the father brought this up, if you fucked up in your life and you wanted a second chance, there's the wonderful hope and chance and the mercy of God that you get that second chance. There's also the possibility that you've ruined your reputation in ways that don't get you that second chance. And it's all about how you choose to execute it. And there are people who will recognize that they won't get a second chance and they'll feel sad and they'll heal from it. Then there are others who apparently will just create a sob story pretending that this is some great redemption arc and try to get some money out some suckers. And because there's the ability to tug on some heartstrings, she'll get some money and she'll walk away maybe $15,000 richer, maybe just $1,900 richer. Let's refresh it just to see. It's currently still at 1977. And you know what? Maybe it grows, maybe it goes past the point. But you fucked this up for not just yourself, but for your kids. And it ain't nobody's fault but your own. And I hope you remember that if you get your second chance, if you get the opportunity to be a nurse at another hospital, and you recognize the glamour of wanting people to see your life in a live setting is really not that fucking important when it pertains to your actual lucrative job. Because, and I know I said I was going to end the video, but I'm going to end it like this. Your regular 9 to 5 or your 12 to 12 or your 8 to 8 is way more lucrative than pretending like you need to be a fucking content creator or live streamer. Mwah. Peace.